So my name is Tony Martin, and I teach for the University of Alaska Southeast in Juneau. Now what we're seeing is spark-ignited engines and compression-ignition engines are becoming one and the same. Okay, the technologies are merging. And this area right in here, okay, for those of you guys who aren't doing diesel engine service now or are thinking about getting into it and maybe have dabbled in it, okay, you've got a whole lot more, the knowledge that you have, okay, is a whole lot more appropriate for diesel engines that maybe your person doesn't know what they've done, and suddenly the silly car doesn't run right. I mean, it's running, won't pull the hat off your head, sounds like it's misfiring, it's got a check engine light on, and you're thinking, you know, I wonder if there isn't a fuel contamination issue here, you know, I wonder if it isn't possible that maybe they put some gasoline in this thing, right? Now, if you're me and you work in a shop all day and you're smelling gasoline all day long, to try to figure out if there's gasoline in that diesel, for me, is really difficult. The thing we got going for us now, okay, that was never really good practice, okay, never was good practice because you don't know, it's unfiltered fuel that's going into the filter, right? What we have now going for us, though, is electric pumps. We can put those to work to bleed the system. As far as just generic scan tool, I'm not talking about generic scan tools, about diagnosis tips, okay? I'm going to tell you as a automotive guy and as diesel guys, you're going to have to be bilingual in certain situations. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is service information that's written by, say, Cummins, and Cummins will have a certain term that they will use for a sensor or a PID. But when you look at the scan tool, the way that Cummins described it, it doesn't show up on the scan tool the way that it was described in the service information. That's not unusual. So what you're going to have to do is put on your thinking cap and everything you know as an automotive technician, put that to work and do your translation. Now, this is just one example. Cummins in their service information uses the term turbo boost sensor. And there's diagnostics related to the turbo boost sensor where they're telling you to look for this PID on the scan tool, and it doesn't exist. And instead, it shows up as a map sensor on the scan tool. Contaminated DEF and go through that inducement strategy process again, right? So it's going to use a stick on you is what it's going to do. Remember I was talking about post-injection events? This is how the Duramax, the 11 Duramax is doing it now. Instead of doing post-injection at the cylinders, it's injecting fuel through a doser in the exhaust system, which is getting away from all that business of growing oil and fuel dilution and all that stuff. So that's something really smart they did.